Welcome back, Troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we have a 1981 Gibson Les Paul Custom. What's the lesson behind this one? In the 70s and 80s, chrome hardware was an option. Generally, you will see people order these with chrome hardware for like the black custom, sometimes the wine red, but the two least common finishes to find it for is cherry sunburst and white. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen a white custom with stock chrome hardware from the 70s or 80s. But this is one of the factory done chromes. Finding stock chrome hardware on Les Paul Customs is a little bit more common in the early 80s than it is in the later 70s, but it is possible. How do you know it's factory? Is there an easy way to tell? Yes, kind of. Unless somebody is doing a perfect job at replacing parts, they fail to replace the bridge studs because you need a stud puller to do that. It's just a big pain in the butt just to get a different color on something you don't see. So if somebody is claiming that they have a factory chrome hardware, that's always the first place I go to look, is that bridge stud. Other than that, you can look at the pickups to see if the pickup covers have been desoldered. That tells you if it's an original set of chrome covered pickups. And to find out if the pickups are original to the guitar, then you look at the solder joints. But this one is a true factory chrome. But what do you guys think? Chrome hardware on cherry sunburst. I usually picture these things with gold, but I don't know, something about this, I feel it works for me. Some other interesting facts about being a 1981 is this is the last year for the volute. In the early part of 1982, these start transitioning away, so this one was only months away from being very different at the back of the headstock. The maple neck still has about a year left in it, but the rest of the guitar is about the same as a regular Les Paul Custom. You've got a maple top with a mahogany back, maple neck, and ebony fretboard. These customs from this era, they really are sweet playing guitars. They have that nice vintage vibe to them. They're relatively affordable for a Les Paul. I mean, if you compare the price of a 70s or 80s custom as compared to a brand new and or lightly used modern day one, the prices really aren't that different if you're looking at player's grade examples. Now, mint condition collector stuff, yeah, that can get just as expensive as new stuff. But I would personally suggest trying out an older one first before buying a brand new. But that's just speaking on my own experience, because I started off with the brand new guitar and then eventually switched to the older stuff. But that doesn't mean the new stuff is bad. There are a lot of cool models that I have been documenting lately. Like, check out this Rhino Les Paul Custom, for example. That thing is killer. These instruments are known for being heavy. This one weighs just a few ounces over 10 pounds, so that's not too shabby for an 80s Les Paul Custom. You can find these weighing all the way up to 12 pounds, sometimes even more if you're unlucky. So now that we know a little bit more about this Les Paul Custom, let's go ahead and hear how this one sounds. we know how this instrument sounds, let's go ahead and review its condition. This instrument's actually in pretty darn good shape. You've got some scratches on the face of the headstock, but notice that the lacquer is not all gold like it usually turns yellow with the age. It actually kind of has that almost new appearance to its headstock, which is cool. Truss rod works just fine. You can see the maple neck in there. The frets do show very tiny amounts of wear, but nothing that affects the playability as of right now. You got really nice low, wide frets on this one, with beautiful mother of pearl inlays, ebony fretboard. Face of the guitar, you've got scratches. This is not a mint condition collectible. This one is definitely one that was played, but well taken care of. You can see all these light nicks and dings on the top, but it does appear to be all original. You've got quite a bit of tarnishing here on the tailpiece. The bridge, not as much, but you do still have the original Tim Shaw PAFs in here, which is where a lot of the value of this instrument comes from. This is a 3-piece maple top. You can see the first one kind of stops right there, Then you've got this main bit. It's got some really nice wood grain to it. I enjoy that. Then you've just got that other small bit of wood right there. Back of the headstock, serial number 81241538, made in USA in the Nashville plant. Original Gibson branded Schaller tuners. You can see you've got a very tiny little ding right up there, but the rest of the instrument's looking good. You do have the bursts on the sides of the headstock. Nice slim neck profile. I mean, this thing is fairly thin, so if you don't like thin necks, don't consider this one. There is a little bit of a blemish right here. It's almost like this was sat up against something hot. It could also be a stand, but it kind of just looks like rubbed through finish. So yeah, it's kind of an eyesore. You can see you've got a few light marks there as well. However, when you're playing it, do you notice it? No. It's possible that somebody just soloed up here a lot, because that mark almost perfectly matches my thumbprint and where my thumb would be. So maybe somebody spent a lot of time between the 10th and 15th fret and had to anchor their thumb. The back of the instrument looks like it's in perfect shape, and then you get it in the light and you can see all the buckle worming marks and scratches. So it's more of a player's grade example that is original, so it retains a lot of its value, but you don't have to be scared to play this one. The sides of the instrument has quite a few scratches and light nicks and dings. We'll run the light over so you see it. And then there is this visual eyesore. This was not disclosed to me when I bought this guitar. It was kind of a nasty surprise, unfortunately. I'm not even sure what this is. It looks like the finish just melted away. My best guess is somebody had a strap that just reacted very badly with the finish, because it's only right around the strap pin here and a little bit kind of where a strap would rest against a guitar, like inside the case. So I'm not entirely too sure, but that would be the best guess that I could come up with. But thankfully, that is at the bottom of the guitar. You do have some scuffs around this one, but nowhere near as bad. So if you're just playing this thing, you will likely easily forget about that once you have it on your strap. This is a beautifully glowing example. You can tell it's kind of been out in the sunlight. You can see where the sweat has absorbed into the finish there, but everything looks the way I would want to see on the front, including the knobs glowing. Take a quick gander around the sides. Take a look at this bottom spot. There you can see the finish is worn off. But everything else is looking okay here. Back of the instrument. This kind of helps show you that it's just buckle worming and the finish isn't chipping or being worn off or anything. So everything looks good there. Back of the neck, again, just that one small area. You've got some light clear coat wear, but no breaks, cracks, or repairs, and that is the most important thing when it comes to determining how much you should pay for a guitar. So everything is looking good on this one. This instrument comes in its original hardshell case. Well, at least error correct. There's really no way to tell if it's the actual original case to the guitar. A lot of people think that only chainsaw cases existed at this point in time, but this particular case, obviously it's changed a little bit, but a similar style has been used since the 60s. This is a variation on the case you don't see very often. It has these square latches on it with an open top. You also have a very early locking latch, and with a few more of these along the outside, as well as just a clasp on the back. The interior is red. You've got some plush left to it. It's got some heel support, single neck rest. I'm almost thinking this might have been redone or repaired, like somebody glued a new burlap material or something, because generally these are black, but with this style of latch, I guess it's possible that's stock. But everything is good on this case. If you think you might be interested in being the next owner of this 1981 Gibson Les Paul Custom with stock factory chrome hardware, feel free to check out that link in the description that will take you to the Reverb for Sale ad. Thank you, Troglodytes, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.